Howdy folks, this morning's shave is going to have Victory Shaving Company soap here. This is Gunner. Comes in a screw top tin with about 4 ounces of soap in there. This is what it looks like on the back side. You notice that it has quite a bit of verbiage back there, as well as the scent profile. These labels are waterproof, and the soap comes all the way up to the edge there. You can kind of tell I've already been digging into the soap there. It's a firm soap, I would call it. It's kind of soft. Wouldn't call it a hard puck for sure. Wasn't that difficult to scrape any soap out and put it down in the bowl here. Matter of fact, I've got it whipped up here with a Ever Ready brush that Frank from Strike Gold Shave reknotted. I've got quite a bit of lather in here. It's pretty creamy. The blade of the day is from Gillette. This will be the first time ever trying one of these, so we'll see how this one here works out for me. Got my usual suspects here: alum block complete with rubber band, Thayer's witch hazel with aloe, and aftershave Clubman Musk, which that's part of the scent profile for this particular soap. Shaver of the day is going to be very similar to the shaver I shaved with yesterday. This is a Gillette Super Speed. This one here's a Milord. This one here's golden color, similar to the one I shaved with yesterday. I got a picture of it on my blog if you want to take a peek at it. You can tell this one here has been used, but in still pretty good shape. My best guesstimate is, judging from the characteristics of this shaver here, since it has notches but it does not have a date code, that we're looking at somewhere between 1948 to 1950 as it goes for the years that it was made. From what I gather, I don't know that there's any difference between the shaver I shaved with yesterday and this one here outside of the color. I did read where there was some thoughts that maybe perhaps the aggression might be different, but it didn't seem like it was quite clear, so I'm kind of thinking it's probably about the same. There's been quite a bit of discussion about super speeds over the years, and after using them this week, it's pretty easy to see how somebody would really like these shavers. Relatively easy to find the edge. They're not too aggressive. Some might consider them mild, but I wouldn't say exactly mild. I would say a step up above that, but not aggressive by any means. I've used several different blades now. I say several because I know my go-to blades. Pretty much you get the shave feel's been a little bit different with different blades, but still very easy to shave with. This I could see where somebody would shave with this every day, because it is a really easy shaver to shave with. I've been getting my shaves in pretty quick. Still fighting a cold. Talking and breathing at the same time has been a bit of a chore since my nose is plugged up. So yeah, this whole week I haven't been able to speak to anything about scents, as opposed to just the creaminess of the slickness of the soap and how the shave's been going. labels on the tin are waterproof. Really like these labels. I like the fact that it's got the scent profile on the back for somebody like me that may have a hard time remembering exactly what the scent is all about, as well as the fact if the soap maker, switches up his lineup and it's no longer on his website, you still have the scent profile on the container. I like that. That's a really good idea. I appreciate that. As well as some of the stories behind the soap itself, as it goes for the name and whatnot. This soap here, take a moment and go to their website just to, I guess you might say, read all about them. At least for me, I know I can appreciate the effort that they're putting in the information they put on these labels from the soap. This is a little bit thicker than what I normally whip up. It's not quite as moist. Try to whip one of those up every once in a while. I usually whip it up a little bit more on the wet side, but you can kind of tell this is pretty creamy. It's really nice soap. I mean, I enjoy it at least. Especially with the super speeds, this soap works well. Had no irritation, no weepers. My shaves went quite well. I have to say, so far the blade's not. I think it's because of some of the blades I've used here recently are Teflon coated, and those seem to be a bit smoother. So if you take the Teflon coating off some of those blades, I would almost guess that it would feel like this one here. Still haven't quite decided on the blade. Nothing wrong with the blade though. Just trying to find a reference point, what to compare it to. I think I remember reading somebody not very long ago was singing the praises of this blade. You'd have to, in my opinion, you have to compare it with the cost when you start to get to a particular point when it comes to some of these blades, because a number of these blades shave rather well, at least for me, and but it gets to be more along the lines of the cost. It's kind of like a feather blade. Feather blade works well for me, but when you start factoring in the cost, how many shaves do you get with it before you decide that it needs to be retired? All that sort of thing. Number of factors when it comes to choosing some of your favorite blades. I know here recently, since I've been trying new blades, when I've been DE shaving, that Lord Cool and the Lord Extra are, you usually get a pack of 100 for $9.99, $10.99, and those blades, they surprised me on how well they shaved. But they're Teflon coated, so that may be what I think is the trick there for me, for my beard type and the way I shave. But also Persona, Maestro SP, in other words the green packs. Those work well for me. I have to say these are give me a little bit more feedback. I don't remember seeing if there's a coating on these blades. I don't think there is, in the way of like Teflon or chrome. I think these are just stainless steel. I could be wrong. It's a really nice shaver. I don't get, not that I'm after it either, but if you're wondering, I don't necessarily strive to get a BBS shave, but I have to say that this is for what I would consider no more effort. I get a close enough shave that I'm happy with it. This, yeah, it doesn't get me a BBS, so in other words, it's not that efficient, but it gives me a close enough shave that I can, how can you say, call it good and go ahead and get ready for the rest of my day. Post-shave feel, right now, face feels pretty good. It's one of those things, if you work some of the leftover lather into your skin, yeah, it feels pretty decent. Can't complain, in other words. It doesn't dry my face out. Go ahead and get started with this alum block here. The past few shaves have been pretty much sting free. This one here's the same way. I'm not, in other words, the alum block is not having much to say this morning, that's a good thing. That's the way I like my shaves. I don't like a whole lot of feedback from the alum block. Either the blade wasn't quite right or my technique was off that day. There's witch hazel. I know this much. I can't wait to get rid of this cold. It has really taken a toll on my energy level, that's for sure. Like I said, it's kind of even, hard to eat and breathe at the same time. Just wear you out. Clubman. I have one other one, aftershave, that is a musk. This one here, my wife, she doesn't like musk aftershaves, but she likes the aqua velva. She's okay with that one. And this one here, not quite as much, but she's still alright with it. Yeah, face feels pretty good. Excellent shave. I'd have to say, for anybody that's starting out, it's not a bad place to start with a vintage super speed. These aren't exactly expensive shavers. You can find them relatively inexpensive. That right there is what the blade looks like, if you were wondering. Like I say, this is the first time I ever used one. I have to say, not too bad. Right here is where I'm talking about with, if you can see those, that's the notch there. Kind of give you a telltale sign of when the razor was made. pretty nice. Had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.